Sales of all sorts, and it may be time for you to invest back into your genetics. Maybe make a change. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, the American Gelbvieh Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources, Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, and Wrangler. We're going to start today's show like this on a topic I think everyone can relate. I don't know, maybe call it Murphy's Law. Why is it when it seems like we just start getting ahead a little bit, right? We get caught up. Why is it that all of a sudden one of the vehicles breaks down? And, of course, it's got to be one of the diesels. And, of course, it's got to be check after check after check that you're writing to get it fixed. Why is that? Is that just Murphy's Law? How does that work, Beck?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. I don't know an outfit out there that probably doesn't go through the same woes as we do in and out of every single day.
And when it comes to these vehicles, let's just talk about this a little bit. When it
You're
comes
hot
to
under
these,
the collar on
it
this.
is because every single person listening is going through the exact same thing. You go onto social media, especially that's where a lot of us are trying to on Marketplace or different websites to find these 3/4 ton, 1 ton trucks, maybe 1.5 ton, 2 ton, whatever the case is. And the prices of these are unbelievable. And we look at it and we say, okay, we need to replace that truck, but $100,000, I mean, some $102,000, $125,000 for that dually truck.
You doing okay over there?
I'm mad about this thing.
I don't want your blood pressure going any higher, Tigger.
It's already blown up the thermometer on this one. So all of us are doing the same thing. We're putting money into keeping these vehicles running, although we've said, we should have traded them off 20 years ago.
Well, we're saying that now, yes, but I think it's fair to say it's regardless if it's our vehicles, our trucks, it's our trailers, it's our tractors. It doesn't matter what we're using these days. It's going more than we all prepared for.
Yeah, it's been very frustrating.
Yes.
I think everybody that we talk to across the country is going through the same thing. Like you said, trailers. To replace a trailer is becoming more and more difficult to replace that truck. And obviously I'm griping because this is what happened.
You're on a tangent.
I am here. Because when you find that vehicle and you say, okay, there's one, that will work. That's what I've been looking for.
You got to pull the trigger.
I'm trying. And just like that, I send a message and no, I'm sorry. I'm ready to get on a plane and fly somewhere and go drive the thing home. Nope, I'm sorry, sale pending. You just posted the thing 1 hour ago.
Now you see who and when what gets hot under Tigger's collar and who remains a little bit more calm.
Really? All right, here's the big one that everybody has been waiting for. The Bighorn Classic Market Report from August 21st through the 25th. Over 217,000 head of calves, feeder cattle, breeding stock were offered on the sale, represented from 32 different states. I'm going to go through them region by region, take my time so that you can absorb the numbers, and they were really good, as you can about imagine. I want to start out just generally speaking on the bred cows, anywhere from $1,460 up to $2,800. The bred heifers from $2,000 up to $2,925. All right, starting with Region 1, which is Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, and Nevada. On the steer side, 560 to 575 weight steers, 272 to 281. 6 1/4 to 640 weight steers, 278 to 305. 725 to 735 weight steers, 265 to 268, and then 770 to 790 weight steers, 232 to 255. On the heifer side, 470 weights at 319. 575 weights, Region 1 at 263. On to Region 2, which is the Dakotas, Nebraska, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and Idaho. 455 to 495 weight steers at 279.5 up to 360. 5 to 5.5 weight steers, 270 to 337. 560 to 6 weights, 255 up to 320. 605 to 6.5 weight steers at 255 to 306. 6.5 to 7 weights, 255 to 298. 7 to 7.5 weight steers, 253 to 283. Let's go all the way down to some heavyweight cattle. 965 up to 1,000 weight steers, 225 to 247. In Region 2, the heifer mates. 5 to 5.5 weight heifers, 264 to 345. 5.5 to 6 weights at 254.5 to 322.5. 6 to 6.5 weights at 231 to 279. Region 3, which is Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. On the steer side, 4.5 to 5 weight steers at 274 to 356. Are you liking the numbers so far, are you? 515 to 5.5 weights at 222 to 316. 560 up to 6 weight steers, Region 3 at 237 to 303. 6 to 6.5 weights at 240 to 285. 6.5 to 7 weights at 227 to 279. Now, if you're wanting specifics and you want to go in and find a particular set of steers from a particular outfit, that information is available. Just go to superiorlivestock.com. If you want to find out what kind of badges they had, what was the vaccination program, were they NHTC, what's the deal on those particular draft of calves, that information is available as well. These are just generally speaking numbers, and some awfully darn good ones at that. Okay, the heifer mates in Region 3, 520 to 5.5 weight heifers, 253 to 318, 570 to 6 weights at 231 to 283, 6 to 6.5 weights at 238 to 279, 6.5 up to 690 weights at 239 to 259. Region 4 is Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois. On the steer side, 575 to 590 weight steers will start there at 269 to 301. 6 to 6.5 weight steers at 258 to 281. 660 to 690 weights is the spread. 261.5 to 292. The heifer side, bell ringers there too. 560 to 590 weights at 250 to 291. 640 weight heifers at 253. 665 to 690 weight heifers at 235 to 270. The heavyweight heifers, by the way, I want to report on those. 9 to 9.25 weights coming in at 219 to 224.5. Region 5 looks like this, which is the Southeast, which is Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. Region 5 steers, 520 to 540 weights, 246 to 285, 560 to 580 weights at 227 to 252, 680 weight steers at 239, and then the heifers I want to tell you about, 620 to 640 weights at 239 up to 251. Wrapping up with Region 6, which is basically all the other states in the northeast part of the country. Steers looking like this, 560 to 585 weight steers in the northeast, Region 6 on Superior's sale. 235 to 277, 670 to 675 weights at 250 to 268, 775 weight steers at 227, and then the heavy steers 975 up to 1,000 weights at 211 to 227.5. Since we're ringing the bell on those sales, is it a time to reinvest back into your cow herd for long-term success? The answer is yes. More details when we come back. We keep bringing you more and more information about Pharmatan, and for very good reason. It just works. Now, with calves getting ready to head to the sale barn, producers are culling cows and getting ready for next year. So start feeding Pharmatan now to the cow herd and knock scours out for next year. And here's the best part. It's super easy to incorporate into your existing rations. Here's Paul Mitchell with Pharmatan.
If he's using tubs, we can supply him tubs with the Pharmatan in it. If he's using TMR, he can buy the concentrate and add it in the feed wagon. If he's using a micro machine, we can supply it through that, to Animal Health. And if he wants to do a liquid version, we can do it through that as well. So once we understand your system and how you'd like to incorporate it, just a matter of getting started.
And now the best time to get started, it is today. Just go to pharma10usa.com for more information. You can follow along on Facebook. And if you have further questions, you can always reach out to Beck and I. We'll help in any way that we can. Pharma10.
Livestockmarket.com. We hear from them each and every week highlighting various sales and lots, but have you taken the time to cruise the site, look around and see what cattle are bringing? How about lower that sale expense and give Livestock Market a try? It's about the easiest way to market your stock, and it puts your product on a worldwide view. Livestockmarket.com. It's simple and it works.
Fall production sales are fixing to rev up, and with the prices of calves, which are excellent, and the prices of the weigh-ups, which are excellent, it may be a time to take those older bulls to town, weigh them up, and apply those dollars to fresh genetics. Allied Genetic Resources is your source for bulls and females that can take your program to the next level. Check out the fall sales at AlliedGeneticResources.com and follow along on Facebook.
Cattle Battle.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show. It's the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find anywhere. It's your All Things Ranching newscast, and so glad to have all of you with us. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, you can call or text 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Email us, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. Now, the fall sales season is here in more ways than one. Now, yes, there are some record-breaking prices being offered, and I truly hope that you're able to take advantage of them. And here is a question that I ask. Is now a time to reinvest back into the herd for long-term success? The answer to that one is yes, 100% yes, absolutely. Getting the genetics that work and will work tomorrow and work into the future. Setting yourself up for success. I say that all the time. Marty Ropp with Allied Genetic Resources joins us now. Marty, thanks for hanging out with us. We normally talk in the spring and in the winter prior to those bull sales. Well, production sales are becoming more and more popular this time of year as well. There are a number of genetics that we can take advantage of, especially at a time where maybe we are marketing a number of calves, and for tax reasons, maybe we need to reinvest back in those genetics. So let's talk about offerings. Let's talk about where sales are located, how we can find them, what types of genetics are being offered. Let's just start there.
We'll come into the fall season with our first sale. Our first two sales the last week of September, one in California and one not too far from Nashville, Tennessee. But primarily the fall sales are congregated in the south and southeast, with the exception of a Triangle J sale in Nebraska, Montana, female sale, Montana, and a couple large commercial female sales. So it will be every week, starting the end of September, every week until we get into December. We'll have an event somewhere, either with primarily bulls, but also some large female sales.
And will you keep us updated, or I should say make sure you keep me updated of where you have some producer meetings, because that's very, very big. We've talked a lot about that of, people that are in the business of raising bulls, of raising breeding stock, could even be just, commercial too, by the way, is working with your customers and your potential customers to talk about your programs. And I know that you put on a number of those different producer meetings just for those very reasons.
Yeah, anytime we can get in front of a group of producers and work with them on their programs and their profitabilities, we take that opportunity. I got one coming up really quickly at Trower Neck Simmentals, the 6th of September in Wymore, Nebraska. That'll be the next producer meeting. I'm at a large producer meeting in Denver here this week, but that the opportunity to interface those folks and talk to them about what our programs can do for them for the long term. That's a big part of our promotional business.
And now with With calf prices being what they are, actually was just on the Superior website, and I was going through
unbelievable.
Yeah, 6-weight steers. I was going through all across the country. I was looking, saw a lot of people that I knew on there, and congratulations, because people are just really ringing the bell all over the place. So obviously that optimism is moving into the breeding cattle side. Has that altered programs in any way when these feeder cattle prices get to hopefully profitable levels for people?
Yeah, I think in several ways, and one of those ways is that producers are seeing what the better genetics and the better processed cattle are bringing over and above what the regular high market is. And so I think the desire to purchase bulls that offer more value to the beef industry and beef systems, I think that is becoming more and more of a priority for bull buyers. And they decide, I'm going to buy better bulls this year because I can, and because it's important for the future. And that may be as big a change as there is. The cow herd's still fairly small. There's a tremendous amount of interest in purchasing females if you can find them at a price point that you can afford them. But
right.
Everybody wants to participate in a market like this.
So will you be able to get the Allied Genetic Resources badge on those calves to be able to help promote them, to add some value to those calves?
Yes, we do. Particularly on the video sales, we're able to logo those cattle, but also our network of reps, also can market those calves, in relatively short order. Again, using the Allied logo and the reputation that comes along with that gets us a lot of interest out there in the beef business. And the replacement heifer part of it, they might even be better than the feeder calves. So I think for the future, I think that's a big deal selling these Sim-Angus crossbred females. You purchase them now, they'll be around for a long, long time. And again, that's something that's, as you know, is expanding fast as people begin to think about, hey, I've sold down because of drought, I sold down because of this. But if I'm going to be profitable and make money for the next 10 or 15 years, it's time to reinvest.
No, I'm really going to throw you under the bus and say, look in your crystal ball on this one. But I got to ask this one, Marty. What is your take on the market outlook going forward? You share yours first, and then I'll share mine. How about that one?
Well, first of all, I don't have a crystal ball. There's a couple of things, though. One is that, again, that we're dealing with the smallest cow herd we've had in recent memory. And that cow herd is not rebuilding extremely fast. There's still some stressors in the market. Heifer slaughter and cow slaughter are still relatively high. So, again, we don't see that buildup happening fast. We sure expect it, but it's not happening fast. And my only other prognostication is when I look at the feeder cattle and fat cattle futures out for 18 months, we can live with those prices. And so we can do better than live with them. They're the highest in history.
Yeah, they are.
And, lots of things can happen, political issues, all kind of worldwide issues, all kinds of things can happen. But we can live at that price point for a long time. And I guess I'm as optimistic as I could be because the only two things that I have to lean on as far as predicting the future, both look positive.
And I do think that this is an opportunity for producers to really look at their programs because you may be able to move some of those cows right now. And obviously we know exactly what bred cows are going for in pairs and females. My goodness, like you said at the beginning of this, if you can afford to get in them, there may be the opportunity for you to move some of those old genetics, turn those into cash, and the opportunity to get into some better genetics. And, I really encourage a lot of guys to take a hard look at their program, especially when you've got the opportunity to make the kind of cash that we're getting with these prices.
Yeah, and the price of cull livestock, even if it's not bred cull livestock, even if you're talking about selling off the bottom end to harvest, those prices are as high as they've ever been. People taking old cows and bulls that have got issues to town and really cashing in on those situations too. But we know genetics is going to be more important 5 years from now than it is now. And if you have the opportunity to turn those over, turn over some older cows for a lot of money and keep some replacement heifers, or purchase some breds for similar amount of money, it might not be a bad time at all to do that.
And I say this every year at bull sale season. It may be the opportunity to bring your bulls to town, some of those old ones, weigh them up, and take those dollars and apply them to some new genetics either this fall or next spring.
That is happening, has happened, will continue to happen throughout the fall. It's just going to be crucial that it has been, but it's going to be more so that the animals that you purchase have the kind of value proposition from a genetic standpoint that's going to help you weather an ever-increasing market that's got demand for quality. And that's, if you're not preparing for that, for the future today, you better get after it, because quality is going to run this market from now on.
Marty Ropp with Allied Genetic Resources. Marty, thank you so much for the time. You can find out more information by going to AlliedGeneticResources.com. Follow them along Facebook. Make sure you're following us as well and checking your feeds, because we will be sharing their posts and getting as much information out to you as we possibly can. Plus, coming up in the future, we're going to talk more about allied feeding partners coming together to trying to capture top dollar for those feeder calves, in addition to this exceptional market that's going on as we speak. Again, Marty, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Now, Kirk is on hold as we speak. That means we're talking numbers, we're talking more markets, we're talking hopefully making more money. The Ranch It Up Radio Show is coming back at you right after this. Don't let nutrition be the missing piece. Nutrition is a key piece to the puzzle of cattle production. As forage quality diminishes, your cowherd's nutritional needs do not decrease. Westway's liquid feed provides protein, energy, vitamins, and minerals, and helps to increase digestibility of forages. This supports fetal programming for the calf in utero and cow body condition scores. Both directly contribute to your herd's performance and profitability. So don't let nutrition be the missing piece. Head to westwayfeed.com.
You're going through your calves, looking what worked and what didn't work. So as you're reviewing your program, you need to ask, is this a time to change? Is this a time to make additions or subtractions? Galvy and a balancer may just be the right fit for you. Galvy and Galvy-influenced females offer sustainability and maternal growth, while the bulls can add those extra pounds at weaning. Find a breeder near you, galvy.org, or check out Galvy on Facebook.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. For those of you that have just found the program, you can text the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777. That will get you Kirk Donsbach with StoneX Financial Incorporated. That will get you his free newsletter that he sends out each and every week, in addition to having Kirk on our show each and every week. Kirk, how are you?
I'm very good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. You want to know why? Because we get to go through the numbers.
Absolutely. Let's do it. As of Friday, August 25th, September feeder futures closed 251.17.5. That's up $2.42.5 on the week, with a CME feeder index at 245.59, also up $1.55 on the week. That left our basis a negative $2.03.5. And note that's versus August feeder futures. I quoted September. October live cattle closed the week at 181.05. That's also up $2.12.5, with cash trading 179 in the south and mostly 184 to 186 in the north. We did have a few late 187s on Friday. That left the 5-area weighted average up 19 at 185.33, and the basis again versus August future a positive $4.65.5. The weekly slaughter increased 10,000 to 626,000 this week. That's still 52,000 lower than the same week last year, however. Choice boxes closed the week 317.90. We're seeing some good strength there. That's $1.79 higher than Friday of last week. To wrap this all up, December corn closed at $4.87. That's down 5.5 cents on the week. As the Pro Farmer Tour wraps up, they did come out with a yield of 172 bushels per acre. That's 3.2 bushels less than the USDA's last projection, but still leaves our stocks-to-use ratio at 13%, which is very adequate.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we say fare thee well, we want to give a big old tip of the hat to all of you involved or are sitting in the cab in the tractor seat combining, harvesting. We know the game is on right there.
And just a reminder that there's a lot of people, I know we don't think about it, but this is a busy time of year. There's slow-moving vehicles. There are grain carts on the road.
Yes.
Semis on the road. Harvesters are going in between different fields. People are chopping corn here pretty soon. I mean, it's going to be kind of a big continuous swath for the next few months.
So we know that a lot of times you're going against time itself, the weather, and all that goes into it. Big tip of the hat to all of you.
And now that's going to wrap it for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours. First, Marty Ropp with Allied Genetic Resources. And again, if you have questions for Marty or for any of the Allied team, you can head to alliedgeneticresources.com, follow them on Facebook, and reach out to Beck and I. We will make sure that you get in contact with the people that you need. A big thank you goes out to Kirk Donsbach with StoneX Financial Incorporated. You can subscribe to Kirk's free newsletter by texting the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777. And to you, the boss lady, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck. I don't have a big sales pitch for you, just you're the boss lady.
You know what? I just keep rolling with it
There
week in and week out, but at least I get to be the boss. A big thank you to our partners, the American Galvey Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, and Wrangler.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. We have many updates. We share a lot of posts there. It's social media. That's what we do, right? It's at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can call and you can text 24/7 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next time where it's always Tigger approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.